welcome to my channel. My braids are crazy because I slipped in them and I was not satisfied with the video I recorded yesterday, which is probably what I posted, depending on if I decide to post it or not. But yeah, so I'm redoing it because that's just how I work. If I don't like something, I do it again, so until I like it. So what I'm doing now is priming my lids with some e.l.f. concealer. I did want to cover that little acne on my forehead, so that's what I did. I wasn't really holding concealer for some reason. I don't know, my eyelids were like tripping for some reason today. They were not holding the concealer. Next, I'm going in with the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette with this shade I'm using now. I honestly am so happy I went with this undertone rather than like a normal taupe undertone. I think it just gave the whole vibe for if you celebrate Thanksgiving or not, but you know, just something a little cute and festive you could wear to a family dinner even if you don't celebrate it. So that's what I'm doing today. I did create a little dome and then wing it out a little bit, making sure I have no missing spots with no pigment. You know, making sure that there's no spots missing pigment just helps for when you want to blend it out. You can still have an even little coat there and it's not all taken with little gaps missing pigment. So now I'm just kind of brushing out the edges with this kind of more neutral yellow undertone pigment, also from the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette, which by the way I'm obsessed with. I think that palette is just a beautiful everyday palette. I think it blends out really nice. The pigment is really pretty, and I think the shade range is amazing because you can either do an everyday look or you can spice it up because it does have two dark tones, a brown and a black. So yeah, I was originally gonna leave it softer today. However, I kind of just went with the flow and I ended up adding a little black liner and a black outer corner. So that's what's gonna end up happening. But if you did want to keep it softer, you can always do it without the black or without the darker tones. So now I'm going in with that dark pigment one more time. And this step should bring back any depth that you lost while blending out, either with the yellow neutral undertone kind of pigment or even that lighter brown / orange pigment. But yeah, I'm going back in and I'm just going to go ahead and with a nice little concealer that dries pretty quick, which is the 16-hour Camo Concealer from e.l.f. I like to use this one because, like I said, it does dry pretty quick. So when I apply it on my eyelids, it doesn't take too much dry time for me to be able to like open, look around, whatever, because it won't transfer from being like super wet from like similar to other concealers. So that's why I like this one. I believe the shade I'm using right now is the Share Fair. The shade Fair. But yeah, like I always mention, my product details are in my description, also under the video under my Instagram post. So I always have a format on my page for now. It might switch up soon, but I don't know, where I like to post the video, a before and after, and then just a couple extra pictures tagging either the lash company that I'm using or another special product that I'm using. But yeah, lip details, face details, blush details, all of those are going to be under the video section on my Instagram, which is linked at the end of my video, beginning of my video, and in my description. So yeah, I'm going in with a small detail brush and I'm just bringing that deep brown into the outer corner. And I'm dragging it out a little bit, but not too much, because you do want it to be the depth of the eye. So you don't want it to be too extra dramatic, and you want it to be blended in. You don't want it to be super harsh, dark pigment standing out from the rest of your eye. So that's what we're doing. I worked my way up to black, so I went in with a dark brown first, and then I'll go in with a black right on top and just kind of blend my way in there, to my preference, of course. And then I like to use NYX Cosmetics Epic Ink Liner. This is the skinny ink liner, the shade black. I did struggle today using my eyeliner liner, but I really think I need to buy a new one. This one was just drying out a little bit, because usually it works even smoother than this, and even though it's running out, it does work a little bit smooth, but not as smooth as I like it. You know, I got used to what I was used to. So I got to re-up on that. But I'm only bringing it to the end of that little cut crease that I did because I'm going to do a black shadow like now on the outer corner, and I kind of wanted to just blend in smoothly. Adding black on top of a liner will make it kind of like patchy and it will stand out a bit, so I didn't do that. Now I'm going in with foundation. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Foundation, Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I'm like super slurring my words today and honestly have no idea why. But I'm going in, blending it out with my beauty blender, the original beauty blender, pretty much the only one that I use. I know that Real Techniques has good ones, Sephora has good ones, and other companies have good ones, but I don't know. I've just always kind of stuck to the original beauty blender and the black one specifically. So I'm not sure why, but I have like multiple of these ones and no other ones. So I guess it's just my preference. Now I'm going in with my Bare Mineral Stick Foundation for liquid contour. I do both contours. I like to do liquid and powder just because it kind of gives you that extra oomph. I like to just tap, and I like to blend by just repeating motions in the same spot pretty much, and then kind of slightly moving up and down, but not much. You kind of let the sponge do the job, and it works pretty nice. Now I'm going in with the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer again. I did go in with one more on top of this off camera. I don't know why I forgot to record it with a lighter shade, but I just did a little dot, nothing like this. I did a lot more with the first shade, and it was a little bit deeper, but they're both e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealers, so that's what I usually use. That's my go-to for now. I like to bring it down towards the side of my nose and my upper lip because I have a lot of freckles there, so it doesn't hurt to cover them a little bit with concealer. Pretty much is the only way to get them covered because foundation really doesn't do the job. It kind of looks like I have a little mustache sometimes, which there's nothing wrong with that, you know, do your thing, but it's just not my preference. So next I go ahead and set it with some loose setting powder and mixed in with the Charlotte Tilbury face powder, the micro smoothing powder. I just like both powders together just to get that loose powder effect, but also to get a blurring effect as well. Now I'm going in and contouring my nose like usual. I like to highlight the tip and the bridge of my nose with a light shade, and then I'll go in with a contour shade right on the sides and on the tip of my nose, which is what I'm doing now. I don't really remember where I got this brush. I've had a couple girls ask me because it is one brush that I use to contour my nose. But I think it's just like an old Anastasia brush that came in the Modern Renaissance palette, I believe. So I don't know if they sell it anymore, but I'm pretty sure that's the brush. It has no name on it. So I couldn't be exactly sure, but don't be worried if your nose looks a little crazy like mine does right now. You're going to reapply the tip and the bridge of your nose with some light powder, and then also you're going to bake the sides of your nose with some light powder as well, which is also going to calm it down a little bit, but not too much. But what is going to calm it down is just brushing everything together, mixing it in. You have a lot of loose powder on your nose, so it does mix in with that kind of orange bronzer or contour, whatever you want to call it, but really it's contour. It kind of mutes it a lot, so it doesn't look as crazy. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the powder contour right on top, right above that loose powder that I put there. And I'm just doing this on the outside of the contour, not so far into my cheek today. Usually I would bring it all the way in, kind of towards the outer corner of my mouth, but I'm kind of just trying different methods to see what I would prefer. Now I'm going in with some blush. This is that me, myself, no. I was gonna say me, myself, and Mitchell brush, but that's not even, he doesn't even have a brush like that. That's the palette, okay? But this is the me, oh my god, I was about to say it again. See, guys, I need to take a nap after this. But this is the Mitchell brush, okay? This is made by Mitchell's face brush, I believe F3, and it is my favorite blush brush ever. I think that it just is super soft, super flexible, and it really does the work. Now I'm taking a stippling brush. This is from Real Techniques, And I'm just blending everything together pretty much. It doesn't really hurt to mute that blush on my cheeks nor the bronzer blush on my forehead. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm also going to work in the nose, all that loose powder there, and blend on top of my nose just to get it all nice and even. And then once I'm done pretty much blending everything together, I go ahead and spray my face with Charlotte Tilbury spray. Now I'm touching up my eyes for anything that kind of got lost with the concealer and the powder. So I don't want to lose that effect, that dragging out effect. So that's what I'm adding now. I just want to make sure it all blends. So I did add the dark shade and a lighter one right on top and just kind of pulling it outward. I don't mind it dragging out super extra because, you know, I don't mind the extraness, doesn't bother me. So that's what I did, just dragging it out as far as possible. And then I mix it in with my contour too off camera. Now I'm going in with Omega lashes in the style Hazel. I did trim the excess and add it onto the end, so that's why that end part looks a little bit more full, because we can't waste no lash out here, okay? So we're gonna add that to our lash. So that's exactly what I did. So now I put some clear glue from Duo, the green one, on my lash line, let it get tacky, and just pop that lash on there. It makes it so much easier. Now I'm going in with the Foxy Brown lip liner from Charlotte Tilbury. One of my new favorite duos is this one and the Makeup Forever lipstick, which is what I'm using today. That is Rouge Artist or Rogue Artist. Honestly, I said Rogue last time and then I realized it's probably Rouge. But oh well, it is what it is, okay? Tomato. So that's what I'm doing. Adding this lip liner, and then I'm adding that Makeup Forever lipstick right on top, a little bit over my liner as well, and then I'll just work it in with my finger to make it nicely blended, and just a little bit more seamless, because we don't mind mixing it in, but it does take a couple tries to get it all nice and pretty. Can't really just pop it on and expect it to be blended. So I will add a little bit more after tapping with my fingers, but other than that, that's pretty much it. It's a little bit extra because I don't really mix in my liner with my lipstick too much like a lot of people prefer, but that's just my preference. Now I'm going in with the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk, which is just for some white waterline. Obviously I was not taking into account recording that. I honestly thought I was not recording. It's pretty much why. My head's all the way down. But now I'm using that Bare Minerals Rare Beauty mascara. Look at me, guys. I'm slipping today, but this is that Rare Beauty mascara, and I'm obsessed with this mascara. I recommend it to pretty much everyone who asked me. I just really like the formula. It doesn't get clumpy, and it also doesn't transfer throughout the day, so it looks really nice. And that is pretty much it for today. This is how the look came out. I think it's a really pretty look, to be honest. I would probably do this to go out like to a club. I don't really be doing too much when I go out, but this is something I would try to do, you know. Usually I just do my everyday look, but this is really cute. A little soft glam moment. To me, this is soft. I don't know. A lot of people don't think this is soft glam, but compared to like all the crazy makeup that I have done or interesting artistic makeup I would consider it that I've done, this is pretty soft. So it's very cute, very pretty. I feel pretty. Clea, my sister, braided my hair so I didn't have to do it, so that came in clutch. But other than that, this is how it came out. Those Omega lashes are looking fire. If you like the video, leave a like. If you want to see something specific on my channel, make sure you guys comment it. Let me know. Hit me up. My social media are always listed at the end, and they're also in my description. But other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I hope you stay safe. And yeah, I hope you come back next week for some more heat. Other than that, bye.